Everyone, uh, welcome back. So today I'm gonna do the review. So we're gonna start first with creating a virtual machine. So you have to use VMware Workstation and make sure that it's not a VMware player, it's a VMware Workstation Pro. So I have already installed it. Let's go to this. First, you have to make sure that you have plugged your USB in a fast port. Otherwise, it's going to take a lot of time and you will not be able to create your machines and run the results successfully. So first, I'm going to go to create a new virtual machine. So I'm not going to do this typical because the things we need are in these custom settings. So I'm going to start with the custom, next, and next. So I have to either I can select CD now, like ISO image, or I can do it later, but I'll do it now. So I'm gonna go to visualization softwares, and there it is. So that's it. Now next, I'm gonna go select Microsoft Windows and Windows 10 and later x64. Then I'm gonna check this path. I've already made this directory, so you have to use that SSD, because if you restart your machine, it will wipe out, the system will automatically wipe out that machine. So you have to make sure that you have put your virtual machine in SSD. So I'm gonna use this Windows 11. Okay, next. I'm going to check this UEFI. It's a new technology instead of BIOS. Next, then I'm going to then we have to make sure that we have two virtualized PCs. So we have two processors. And I'm going to go next. And we have to go for 4096, at least 4 GB RAM, 4096. It will make sure that your PC is running smoothly and fast. Next, so I'm gonna select this. For this machine, I'm gonna use host only networking. What's gonna do is gonna keep this machine in the internal network and won't allow it to go to the external network. You won't be able to access internet from this option. Next, and then I have to use this LSI logic SAS. All of other options are graded out automatically. So next, then make sure that instead of this recommended, you have to use SCSI. Next, otherwise you're gonna lose the marks because you have to use this SCSI. Next, then create a new virtual disk. Then so you have to check the requirements, that what's the maximum disk you need. So I'm just gonna leave it now for 60. That's it. So store virtual disk and make sure that you select a single disk. You store virtual disk as a single file. Otherwise, if you do this third option, it's gonna make multiple copies of that virtual disk. Okay. So this is the name of that hard disk we're gonna create, VMDK. Next, so this is a summary of a machine that's gonna pop up now. So if you still want to change something, you can go customize and do some of the different stuff that you want to add or remove. Okay, so my machine is good. I'm gonna close and finish. Okay, so now machine is ready. So let's boot this machine. Power on machine. So make sure that some like you're gonna run into problem. You have to first click on the black screen, and when you press any key, then it's gonna work. If you don't click on the black screen and you keep on pressing the button, it's not gonna work. So you have to do it. Okay. And if you want to come out of the, let's say if you want to bring your cursor back, you have to use these two buttons, Alt and Control together. If you press together, the mouse is gonna come back to your host machine. I'm gonna use this, although let's change it now instead of doing later. I'm gonna do it Canada. Okay. So keyboard language installed, that's fine. I'm not gonna change anything. So I'm gonna press Shift and F10. Let's do that small stuff. I'm gonna do registry. Go to the registry edit, edit, and I'm gonna go to HLM system setup. Okay, I'm gonna create a new key now here. New key by the name of lab config. Then in that key, I'm gonna create two 32-bit values. One is bypass TPM check. Okay, and second one is bypass secure boot check. That's it. And now you have to do is modify and hexadecimal value to 1, and same for the other stuff, other this value. Okay, that's it. We are done here. Let me check again, bypass TPM check and bypass secure boot check. Okay, I'm gonna close it, close the registry editor, command line, next. Okay, so I'm gonna click on install now. So it's gonna successfully go forward. Okay, so I don't have product key. Let's pass this one. Okay, so select this Windows 11 education. Make sure you select this. Next. Accept the license agreement terms. Next. Go to the custom, install a new copy. Next. Okay, it's gonna start installing now. So make sure, as I told you before, that plug in the USB in the fastest USB port. It says either it's a blue color port or it says SS along with that. This is a small sign. So, or if you're using the C type connector, then it's also fine. Otherwise, it's gonna take a lot of time to install a Windows, and if you want to clone or do any of the stuff, that stuff, it's gonna take a lot of time. So that's it for this. Let's wait and see how long it's gonna take. I'm gonna pause for a moment and I will come back once this is done. Okay, so now the Windows is installed, and let's do some modification to this machine. This is the when you reboot for the first time, it automatically reboots and it brings you here after installing. So let's say Canada. It's gonna take some time. So there's all of these processes because it's fresh installed. That's why. It's taking more than usual. Okay, so I'm gonna select this, the same keyboard. Yes. Second keyboard layout, let's skip it. And so as you guys have selected that host only adapter, so automatically you have to select this option. I don't have internet. Continue with the limited setup. Okay, let's say I'm gonna write test machine. Next, I'm gonna skip password for now. No, to the location services. No, required only. Okay, so I'm gonna select no, this one as well. No, this one, and no. Okay, so now we are in the machine, in the OS. It's gonna be ready. Gonna be ready soon. Okay. So we have to do some modification to this machine before we run anything on this machine. Okay. So let's, if this starts quickly, then we can do it. Just for the checking purpose, I'm gonna go to the virtual network and we'll see how many networks do I have there. Let's say if I go to DHCP. I'm gonna pause it for a moment and come back until this is done. Okay, so machine is installed, so that's the first page that you can see. So next, first thing you have to do is like you have to go to the install VMware tools. So this thing is very helpful. Otherwise, you will not be able to share a folder between your host and guest. So after you click it, so okay. Okay, so you have to go to this. You have to go to this PC. It's taking some time. Okay, this PC. So you right click and you have to install this stuff. Let's go to this one and auto run. Oh, it's icon. Sorry, this is not gonna work. So I'm gonna go setup. Yeah, click yes. Okay, so it's preparing to install these softwares. So just want to check my machine settings. Why is getting slow? The RAM is good. The processor. I have two processors. Okay, maybe. So next. So it's gonna also change your using that mouse user experience. So the mouse is like it's gonna it slow down sometime. It gonna guess it gets stuck as well. So after installing this, you will feel that the mouse is running very smoothly, and you will be able to see a full screen. And the third thing that you're gonna see is like if you want to share a folder between host and your guest, so you can do that. Otherwise, without installing these tools, you won't be able to do it. Okay, so let's wait for a moment and see how this thing goes on. And it's gonna ask you to if you want to restart, and you have to do it. Like you have to restart it, otherwise it will not take effect. Oh, it did, but let's see. In the last version, it was not. It was asking for a restart. Okay, that finish. So let's okay. Look, is for restart. So let's do it. Yes. So once we go back from this restart stuff, we have to do some minor changes. So this machine is gonna take hardly I think 5 to 8 minutes more. So it will be fully ready, and we have to run a report. That's it. Then we're gonna make a clone of this same machine and have to do some stuff on that. Hi guys, welcome back. So this is a new machine that we need to do some modification on it. So first thing that I'm gonna do is I'm gonna check for network settings. So I have to use certain type of IP on this machine, and subnet mask as well. So then we're gonna change the host name and we'll do some of the stuff. So I have already installed the network tools. So let's go here. So you have to go here. Instead of automatic, you have to switch this on. And yes, I'm gonna write and some random IP. Let's say I'm gonna write 10.10.5.5. Okay, and give subnet mask for 255.255.0.0. Let's save it. Okay, so we have done this part. This is done. This IP address assign of our first guest OS. Now I'm gonna before okay, let's uh, I'm gonna switch off that automatic update. So gp edit I'm gonna do this to switch off the Windows update. So you have to go to administrative templates. Then you go to the Windows components. Then you scroll down and you come down all the way and you see Windows update. Double click on it and see manage end user experience. In that, if you click on this configure automatic updates, what you only have to do is it's gonna take some time to load. Okay, so just disable, apply. Okay, so now automatic updates are switched off. Okay, I'm gonna close it, and next thing I'm gonna do is okay, so I'm gonna go here, and first I'm gonna let's go to the properties, change the name of this PC. Okay, so let's rename. Let's say if I make it 12345 dash PC. So next, so it's gonna ask for a restart. Just restart your computer. That's it. So once it's rebooted, and then its name is you'll see the name is changed. The next step that I'm gonna do are I'm gonna map a drive and make sure that your computer should be in a running state when you map a drive. And the second thing you have to do is you have to run the report. Okay, so this stuff is done. So let's wait for a few minutes. Okay, it's loading. Come on. So once you plug in your USB in that SS port, and if let's say if somebody forgot to plug that in the SS port, and while you are installing the Windows, and you just realize that it's not in a SS port, the super speed. So if you unplug all of your machines, installation is gonna crash. So you have to restart from the start. So to map a drive, okay. First, I'm gonna show you the name of this PC. Let's change. Let's go to the settings. Come on. Oh. Okay, look. So the name is changed. 12345 PC. Okay. So now to map a drive, what you have to do is you go to the settings, and you come. Who is that? Share folders. Ah, that's it. So you say always enabled, and here you have to select check mark this one, map as a network Windows guest. You have to add the path. So I'm gonna go and see my path. I created a special folder by the name of map drive in my SSD. So here now, enable the share. I'm gonna say okay, and that's it. Okay, and so if you come here, you will see the share folder. Okay, so let's say if I now this folder is empty. This is my guest OS. So I have that file on my. Uh, I'm gonna copy it. It's on my other screen. So I'm gonna bring it back, and if I go here and I put in this, I'm gonna paste. So this is my SSD. So if when I go back to my map drive folder, I'm gonna just refresh. So now you have this script that you want to run on the PowerShell. So now what you do is go to the PowerShell, and make sure you run as administrator. Run as administrator. Yes. What we have to do is we have to just open up this script in this ISE PowerShell, and we have to bypass. So when I run it, it's gonna successfully run the report. Okay, let's first open this file. Okay, open. So in my net, oops. Somehow it's not showing it here, but it's okay. I'm gonna cancel it. I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna copy. If you copy this report and put on your desktop. So make sure this is. I'm doing everything on my host. Sorry, on a guest OS. Okay, now I can open it. Open the desktop. Now I can open. Okay. So now script is loaded, but you have to do certain things to run it. Set. So you have to do set execution policy bypass. So it's gonna ask you. You just click yes to all. And that's it. And now if I run this report, so it's gonna save the report here on this path. Okay. Sorry, on this path, this system 32. So you have to, if you want the report, you have to go here on this path, on this system. So let's say if I go there, it's C Windows 32. C Windows system 32, this one. And instead of scrolling everything, if you click on H, should be here. This one. This is the report. Yes. Control X and paste this file in the Z folder. That's it. It's gonna ask you if you want to continue. Should I do a selector? Okay, so make sure that you don't just cut it, just you have to copy from that folder, otherwise it's gonna give an error. So now you can see this file here. Let's say if I double click this report, I'm gonna see that uh, look this Windows 10, although it says Windows 10 education, but this is Windows 11. And then you, because by default in this VMware it doesn't has that Windows 11. Whenever you try to install it, the Windows 11 special, that categorically the name is not appear, so that's why it's saying Windows 10. Okay, and you go to, you see the IP address is separate mask. And the other thing you will see is that we don't have any default gateway. That means that we are on our host. We are working on our host IP. Oh, sorry, host network. So that's why we cannot go out of for to internet. And other thing is Windows update. Look, no auto update. This that the one command I did, this gp edit, and that I turn off that auto update. This is reflecting it here. So everything looks good. That's it. Done for this one. Now I'm gonna clone this machine. Okay. I'm gonna close it and close this stuff as well. If you go to virtual machine and you say manage, you go to manage and you start clone. Okay, so make sure oh, okay, so what I'll do is like, so everything is good here, so we are gonna turn off the machine, shut down. So make sure that you shut down when you have to make a clone. Otherwise it will not let you make a clone. So also make sure that when you are trying to make a clone and when you give a path, so try to give it a different folder directly, so it will not mix the files with the original machine on your SSD. So if those both the files are mixed, then it's going to be a problem while when you're running this machine. Okay, so go to VM, manage, clone. So next, okay, it says the current state. You have other option is grayed out, so no, don't worry about it. Next, so we want to create a full clone. Next, okay, so now it's asking which location do you want to save. So if I go here, so I'm gonna go to my SSD and I'm gonna hmm, I'm gonna select this and I'm gonna create a new folder. So this will separate the files from your original machine. If you don't do that, then all the files I, so these files will go to C, and if you select your previous folder, then these files will gonna be saved in with your original machine. So let's say clone of test Mac. Okay, clone of test Mac. Where is that? This one. Okay. Okay. Finish. That's it. So now it's gonna start cloning this machine. So whatever the properties of this machines are exactly the will be the properties of our clone machine. That's the basic uh, thing that we need to remember, and also remember that we need to do a lot of stuff on the clone machine. So it's gonna take some time. I think it's not gonna take too much time, but maybe less than 5 minutes. or maybe 3-4 minutes. Depends on the PC you are using. It's done. I'm gonna close it now. It's gonna appear on this machine. Okay, so this one is a clone. Look, it's different from the other one. It says clone of Windows 10. So I'm gonna power it on and have to do some stuff on this one. So in this machine, you don't have to enter any manual IP. We're gonna change the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna change the network adapter. So previously we were using host, but now I'm gonna be using NAT adapter. So this way we're gonna going to the internet. Okay, and let's see how it works. So I'm gonna pause for a moment until I get back to the screen. Okay, so we have created the clone machine. So now we need to do some modifications in this machine. First of all, I'm gonna change the network adapter so that we can connect to the internet. Go to the settings, this host. You should change it to. So this is my VM net. I'm gonna say okay. So let's see. Yes, I'm gonna go here, network internet settings. So this, you guys should remember that this is exactly the same copy of our original machine. Uh, so it also has the same IP. So I'm gonna do is I'm gonna enter DHCP, save. So hopefully now it's gonna, yeah, the internet is connected now. So now this machine is on NAT. So we can go out on internet. Okay, I'm gonna go here and let's test. Okay, google.com. Okay. This is google.com. Is google.com. So it's just successfully resolved IP address. DNS is working, so that's fine now. Okay, now what should I do? Okay, the NAT is up and running. You can connect to the internet, and connectivity is also fine. So now I'm gonna rename the machine to, let's say, okay. Okay, so just go here, properties, and rename this PC. Let's say if I 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 clone. So next it's gonna ask for a restart, and let's restart this PC. Okay, restart now. So these steps are done. We have connected successfully the NAT adapter. Internet is also working. We can also resolve our DNS queries that we checked through google.com. I will change the name of the clone machine. You should write clone along with this number or whatever number you're using, because it will be unique, and you will know that this is a clone machine, not the original one. Okay, so let's wait and until this machine restarts. What we have to do is I'm gonna disable some firewall settings, and then I'm gonna install IIS server in this machine. then we will be done. Okay. And one also another thing that to write, make this hard disk write protected. Okay, so the name is changed now. Okay. So if you see here, you have you can so this is the same file that we put on our original machines. This is also copied in this machine because this is a clone. Okay, now I'm gonna go to firewall settings. So, okay. This is slow. This machine is very slow. So just switch off everything. So ask you warning. Go back. Private network. Same thing. Okay, the third one, public network. Okay. So basically, this machine is fully insecure, and any connection can pass through the firewall because it's not working. Now the firewall is also done, and now we have to create an IS server so that we can access it from our host machine. So what you do is go here, Windows feature. This is the best way to look for any of the Windows services instead of going to the control panel and doing that stuff. And what I do is, like, if I press this one, so just check this one, and automatically it's gonna check mark these two options. Well, these, like, so we don't need FTP server, just these two services. Okay. Applying changes, and okay, I'm gonna show you that how you can verify that IIS service is running on this computer. Okay, IIS is like if a company is running their website, it's like a web server. That's they can manage this website from this service, from this service IIS. Okay, I'm gonna go in Microsoft Edge. So you have to, if you want to just check it that if this service is running or not, just localhost, enter. For now, localhost is not running because this service is still installed, is being installed. So once this thing is finished, it's gonna, then we can easily run this. You'll see internet information service here. Close, come on. Yes. Okay, Windows complete the request to change. Okay. So now if we go look, sorry, Internet Information Service is running now. So basically now what we have to do is, like, we have to divert our host machine to this, our virtual machine. Let's say if somebody is coming to our host machine to access the internet services, he should be directed to this page of the guest OS or virtual machine. So how you can do that is, if you go here, this one, this option, edit virtual network editor. And you have to click change settings. Yes. And before that, I should know what my IP address is. CMD. So this thing, this one, if you come, okay, let me first check my IP config. So my IP address is this 192.168.233.128. So you should keep this in mind, and you go to NAT settings. Okay, so now you have to add this host port. So this is a port that you can select any port. I would suggest you to select like the ports that are the bigger ports under 65,000. So I would select like 44449. Okay, I'm gonna put my virtual machine IP address 168.233.128 and virtual machine port. So this port, like 80, port 80 is used for web services, unsecure web services, HTTP only. Okay, I'm gonna write some description like port for overrule, just to just for better understanding. I'm gonna press OK. Everything is good. 192.168.233.128, and our port is 4449. You should remember this port, okay? And we're gonna apply the changes. Everything takes a lot of time when you're working on a virtual machine. Okay, so now once this is done, I'm gonna show you that how this thing is gonna get diverted to this page of the virtual machine. Okay, come on. Okay, so I'm gonna go in CMD of my host machine, not the virtual machine. I'm gonna check out config. Oh, it's showing me a lot of. So I'm gonna find my IP address. So my IP is 192.168.2.60. Let's say if you are having any problem with your that you are unable to connect your machine, like, so I'm gonna also tell the solution what should you check. Okay, so in order to find out like what's happening with your machine, let's say, so this machine I have to write 168.2. What's my IP address? So make sure you have to write your host machine IP address here and the port number that we have given there. Okay, look. So now in our host machine, I wrote my IP address and the port number. So this my port is diverting whoever is coming to this page basically to my virtual machine server. that is hosting this IaaS services. So this IaaS service is installed in my virtual machine. So this is how you're gonna do it. This part is also done, and I'm gonna go back to my virtual machine. So let's say if uh, if by any chance that you guys are unable to connect to this IaaS service, so if you ping 192.168.2.60, this is like whatever the IP address you have to write for your host machine. So you will be getting a response. If you are not getting a response, that means there is no connection between your virtual machine and your host machine. And same if you go here, and if I ping my virtual machine, it's gonna get a reply from my virtual machine. So that means everything is good. This is the one way to check that if any of you guys have problem with your IaaS services. So the next thing is how to run this machine in a write protected disk. So I think I have to turn it off, and then I have to go it. Oh yeah. So the write protection, like so basically now this machine is not in a write protected mode. I'm gonna turn it off. So write protection is like if your disk is running in a write protection mode, until your machine is on, whatever you are doing is gonna be saved on that machine. But once your machine restarts or shuts down, so all of that data will be wiped out. So that basically is the write protected mode. So we have to make our machine, our hard disk, to the write protected mode. So we can only do that if our machine is not running, it's powered off. Okay. Okay. So you have to go to VM settings, and go to SCSI hard disk, advanced, independent. Select this one. Okay. So now our machine is this clone machine is in a write protected mode, and so this is done. Now you have to just do the same thing, share a folder and run the report, save the report, and that's it. Thanks for watching and have a good night. Bye.